Stop every mouse the old farmer way. No poison. Safe for pets and children. There is probably an opening somewhere around your house, no wider than the end of your little finger. You may have walked past it 100 times without noticing it. A mouse will not. To a mouse, that small dark opening is not a crack. It is a front door. And once one mouse finds warmth, food, and a quiet place inside your home, catching the mouse you see will not solve the problem. Another one can follow the same path tomorrow night. But there is an old farm method that stops this cycle without scattering poison around your property. You need a flashlight, a handful of metal mesh, a tube of sealant, and a few carefully positioned traps. The materials are inexpensive. The work can be completed over a weekend. And when it is done correctly, you are not repeatedly killing mice that enter your home. You are taking the house away from them. In a few minutes, I will show you the 3 entry points most homeowners overlook. One of them is usually less than 10 feet from the place where the first droppings appear. I will also show you what material to put inside a small opening before you seal it. That part matters. If you simply fill the opening with soft foam, the mouse may chew through your repair and return through the same hole. Then I will show you how to remove any mice already trapped inside the house without using poison, and how to position the traps where children and pets cannot reach them. But first, you need to understand what most people get wrong. Most people begin with the mouse. The farmer begins with the building. When a mouse appears in the kitchen, people buy a trap, place it somewhere near the refrigerator, and wait. If the trap catches one mouse, they believe the problem is finished. If it catches nothing, they assume the mouse has left. But the mouse is only the evidence. The real problem is the root. A house mouse does not need an impressive doorway. An opening roughly 1/4 of an inch across can be enough. That means a loose pipe fitting can be enough. A damaged corner underneath a door can be enough. A gap where siding meets the foundation can be enough. The space around an electrical cable can be enough. And once that route has worked, mice will continue using it for as long as your home provides food, warmth, and shelter. That is why the old farm rule is simple. Do not spend all your time chasing what entered. Find out how it entered. On farms, poison creates problems of its own. There may be dogs, barn cats, chickens, wildlife, and children moving through the same spaces. A poisoned mouse can also disappear into a wall, beneath a floor, or behind a cabinet. You may remove the mouse, but you have not removed the doorway. The method I am going to show you has 4 parts. Read the trail, close the entrance, remove the invitation, then catch the mice that remain. Do those 4 things in the right order, and you have a system. Do only one of them, and you may have the same problem again next month. Let us begin with the trail. When you first discover droppings, do not immediately start moving everything in the room, and do not sweep or vacuum dry rodent waste. I will explain the correct cleanup method later. For now, look around without disturbing it. Mice prefer to travel close to walls and behind objects. Open spaces expose them. Edges make them feel protected. Begin at the place where you found the evidence and follow the wall in both directions. Look behind the refrigerator. Look underneath the sink. Look behind the stove and dishwasher. Check the bottom corners of kitchen cabinets. Inspect the openings where water pipes, drain pipes, electrical wires, and gas lines pass through the wall. You are looking for more than a round hole. Look for damaged food packaging. Look for small gnaw marks. Look for shredded paper, insulation, or fabric. Look for greasy marks along a repeated route. And look for droppings concentrated in one area rather than scattered randomly across the room. A mouse does not wander through your house without purpose. It moves between three things: a hiding place, a food source, and an entrance or nesting area. Find two of those, and the third is usually nearby. Now take the inspection outside. This is what farmers used to call walking the building. You are going to walk slowly around the entire exterior with a flashlight. Do not inspect from the middle of the yard. Get close enough to touch the wall. Start at one corner and do not skip sections. Check where the foundation meets the siding. Check every pipe and cable entering the house. Check crawl space vents. Check basement windows. Check air conditioning lines. Check underneath decks and porches. Check the lower corners of garage doors. Then look upward. Mice can climb rough surfaces, pipes, and vegetation. Inspect the roofline, soffits, attic vents, and any branches or vines touching the structure. Do not assume the opening must be near the kitchen. A mouse can enter through a garage, crawls space, or attic and travel inside the walls before appearing beside your food. There are 3 places I want you to inspect twice. The first is underneath the kitchen sink. Builders often leave more space than necessary around plumbing. The cabinet hides that gap, so homeowners may never see it. The second is the bottom corner of the garage door. A garage door can look completely closed from several feet away while leaving a small opening where the seal meets the track. The third is behind the stove. Gas lines and electrical connections may pass through an unfinished opening that is invisible until the appliance is moved. Those 3 places account for a surprising number of mouse routes. But do not stop there. A successful inspection is slow and boring. That is exactly why it works. The mouse depends on you becoming impatient. Here is a simple test for exterior doors. During daylight, turn off the lights inside the garage, basement, or utility room. Close the door and look around its edges. If you can see daylight, inspect that area closely. Weather stripping may have pulled away. A wooden corner may have rotted. The threshold may no longer meet the bottom of the door. A soft brush seal may appear closed while still allowing a mouse to push underneath it. Mark every suspect opening before you begin repairing anything. Use a piece of painter's tape or take a photograph with your phone. You want a complete map. If you repair the first hole you discover and stop inspecting, you may miss 2 more on the opposite side of the house. Now we come to the material that matters. For a small opening, pack the gap firmly with steel wool or corrosion-resistant metal mesh. Then secure it with an appropriate sealant. The metal creates the difficult chewing barrier. The sealant holds the repair in place and closes the remaining air gap. Foam can help secure suitable material, But soft foam by itself should not be treated as the entire barrier. For larger openings, use something structural. 1/4-inch hardware cloth, sheet metal, metal flashing, cement, or another durable building material suitable for that location. The repair must be attached firmly around all its edges. A loose patch is not a sealed opening. It is a flap. Around a pipe, shape the mesh closely to the pipe before sealing it. At a vent, do not block necessary airflow. Install suitable metal screening instead. At the bottom of a door, replace damaged weather stripping or install a properly fitted door sweep. Around the foundation, repair broken material rather than hiding it underneath a decorative cover. The mouse does not care whether the repair looks attractive from 10 feet away. It cares whether one corner can be pushed, chewed, or pulled loose. Take your time. A 10-minute permanent repair is worth more than 10 traps placed beside an open hole. There is one important point here. If you already have mice inside the house, sealing the exterior does not automatically remove them. You must close the entrances and begin trapping during the same control period. Otherwise, the mice already inside may simply search deeper into the building for food and shelter. This brings us to the second half of the method, removing the invitation. A mouse does not need an uncovered dinner plate. A few crumbs underneath an appliance can feed it. A torn bag of birdseed in the garage can support it. Pet food left out overnight can attract it. Grass seed, livestock feed, and unsecured rubbish can keep it returning to the same area. Begin with dry food. Store grain, cereal, flour, rice, pet food, and bird's seed in tightly closed containers made from glass, metal, or sturdy plastic. Thin bags and cardboard boxes are packaging. They are not mouse barriers. Check the lowest shelves first. Then pull out the stove and refrigerator if it is safe for you to do so. Clean the grease, crumbs, and food fragments that accumulate underneath them. Wipe cabinet corners. Clean the toaster tray. Do not leave dirty dishes overnight. Keep kitchen rubbish in a container with a tight-fitting lid. If you feed a pet indoors, remove leftover food when feeding time is finished. Do not leave a full bowl on the floor throughout the night. Now look for water. A leaking pipe beneath the sink may provide a regular source. So can a pet bowl, condensation tray, or slow drip in a utility room. Repair leaks and remove unnecessary standing water. Then remove shelter. Stacks of paper, empty cardboard boxes, cloth, insulation, and forgotten storage create quiet nesting material. You do not need an empty house. You need storage that can be inspected. Lift boxes from the floor where possible. Replace damaged cardboard with sealed containers. Keep the areas behind appliances and inside cupboards accessible enough to check. Outside, move firewood and clutter away from the building. Clean spilled seed around bird feeders. Keep rubbish closed. Trim dense vegetation touching the house. And do not allow feed bags to sit open inside a shed or garage. This may sound like ordinary housekeeping. That is because the best mouse control is mostly ordinary work performed carefully. The pest control industry often sells the dramatic moment, the bait, the device, the visit, but the unglamorous work is what changes the building. Now, we deal with any mice still inside. For household mouse control, traditional snap traps remain one of the most useful poison-free options. But placement matters more than people realize. A mouse usually runs beside a wall. Therefore, place the trap so the baited trigger end is against the wall, forming a T shape with the wall. The mouse then encounters the trigger while traveling in either direction. Do not place one trap in the middle of the room and expect the mouse to cross an exposed floor to investigate it. Position traps behind appliances, inside cabinets, beside walls, and near confirmed travel routes. Use several traps when the evidence suggests more than one mouse. A large infestation will not be solved efficiently with one lonely trap. Use only a small amount of bait. A pea-sized portion of peanut butter is enough. Too much bait may allow the mouse to remove some without properly engaging the trigger. And this is where child and pet safety must be taken seriously. No exposed trap should be placed where a child or animal can reach it. Use locations that are genuinely inaccessible, or place the trap inside a suitable secured trap enclosure designed for that purpose. Follow the trap manufacturer's directions. Do not improvise a cover that can be easily opened, tipped over, or reached through. No pest control method is automatically safe merely because it contains no poison. The safety comes from correct selection, secure placement, and careful handling. Check the traps every day. Remove captured mice promptly while wearing gloves. Reset the traps and continue monitoring until there are no new catches and no fresh signs of activity. Do not assume that one captured mouse means there was only one, and avoid glue traps and improvised live capture traps. They can prolong suffering, and frightened rodents may urinate or spread contamination while struggling. A properly selected and correctly positioned snap trap is a more direct tool. If you continue seeing fresh activity after completing the inspection, sealing, and trapping steps, bring in a qualified pest control professional. Ask specifically for an exclusion-focused or integrated pest management approach. A good professional should inspect the structure and identify entry points, not simply place bait and leave. Now, let us talk about cleanup. This is the part people rush, and it should not be rushed. Rodent urine, droppings, and nesting materials can carry germs. Do not sweep them dry. Do not vacuum them dry. That can stir contaminated particles into the air. If the evidence is inside a closed shed, garage, or other enclosed area, ventilate the space before cleaning when it is safe to do so. Keep children and pets away. Wear rubber or plastic gloves. Wet the droppings and contaminated area thoroughly with an appropriate disinfectant, following the product label and its required contact time. Once everything is wet, wipe it up with paper towels. Place the waste in a sealed bag. Clean the surrounding surface. Remove the gloves carefully and wash your hands. If you find a large accumulation of droppings, extensive nesting, rodents inside heating or ventilation systems, or contamination that you cannot safely reach, stop and get professional assistance. The goal is not to prove how fearless you are. The goal is to make the home clean and safe. At this point, you have completed the 4 parts. You read the trail. You closed the entrance. You removed the invitation. And you trapped the mice that remained. But I want to save you money on a few things that sound easier than this method. A strong smelling oil may make one corner unpleasant for a while. It does not repair a hole. A cat may catch an occasional mouse. It does not seal the garage door. An electronic gadget may make a convincing sound or flash a comforting light. It does not remove spilled birdseed from behind a shelf, and poison may kill the animal that eats it. It does not prevent the next mouse from entering through the same opening. Do not confuse making a mouse uncomfortable with making the building secure. The old farmer method works because it changes the conditions the mouse depends on. There is no open route. There is no dependable food. There is no safe nesting place. And any mouse already inside encounters traps along the path it naturally follows. That is the entire system. Now, I want you to test your work. For the next several days, inspect the same locations each morning. Look behind the stove. Look underneath the sink. Check the garage corners. Check the pantry shelves. Inspect every trap. Watch for fresh droppings, new gnawing, or disturbed food packaging. If signs continue, do not add random products. Return to the root. There is likely another opening, another food source, or another protected path you have not found. Walk the exterior again. This time, begin from the opposite direction. Look lower than you did before. Then look higher. Check behind anything attached to the wall. Inspect every utility line. Look at the underside of the porch. Check the garage door seal from inside during daylight. The second inspection often finds what the first one missed. Once the activity stops, do not forget about the repairs. Check door seals and exterior patches when the seasons change. Materials shift. Wood swells and shrinks. Weather stripping wears out. Utility work can reopen a previously sealed area. A 10-minute inspection twice a year is easier than emptying an infested pantry. So, here is your weekend plan. First, follow the evidence inside the house and mark every possible travel route. Second, walk the entire exterior with a flashlight and inspect every opening roughly a quarter inch or larger. Third, seal small gaps with metal mesh secured by the proper sealant. Repair larger gaps with hardware cloth, sheet metal, flashing, cement, or another durable material suitable for the building. Fourth, replace damaged door seals and cover vents without blocking necessary airflow. Fifth, secure every food source. Clean beneath appliances. Remove pet food overnight. Close rubbish and bird seed containers. Repair water leaks and remove nesting clutter. Sixth, position several snap traps directly along the confirmed travel routes. Keep every trap completely inaccessible to children and pets using secure trap enclosures where needed. Finally, monitor the house until the catches and fresh signs have stopped. That is how you stop a mouse problem without filling the property with poison. Not with one miracle gadget. Not with one trap thrown behind the refrigerator. And not with a smell that disappears after 2 days. You stop it by making the entire house say no. No entrance. No meal. No water. No hidden bed. By next weekend, your pantry should be quiet. Your pet food should remain untouched. There should be no scratching behind the wall after dark. And the narrow opening that once served as a front door should be filled with metal and sealed for good. Tell me in the comments where you first noticed your mouse problem. Was it underneath the kitchen sink, and behind the stove, inside the garage, or somewhere you never expected? And if you walk your house this weekend, tell me how many openings you find. People are often shocked by the answer. In the next video, I will show you how old farms stored birdseed, grain, and animal feed without allowing mice or pantry insects to turn the storage room into a feeding ground. It uses the container most people already own, but is one mistake almost everyone makes when they close the lid. Until then, keep the food sealed, keep the building tight, and remember, the cheapest pest to remove is the one that never gets through the door.